Good day, everyone. You're welcome to our class today. Okay, so this is another wonderful time in the class. We are going to be looking at a special topic today. That is variation. We are looking at joint variation. Now, before now, we have looked at direct variation and inverse variation. So we want to move down to a wonderful aspect of the variation, which we call joint variation. Now, joint variation involves three or more variables. Unlike the ones we have been doing before, where we have just two variables. Okay, so this time around we'll be looking at three or more variables. Okay, so now before we commence the class, I want you to invite your friends, let them know the class has started. Okay, so quickly share this video, this link with your friends. Okay, now let's do that, and we commence the class in the next few minutes. Okay, while we wait for others to join the class, um, I want us to start with this question I have on the board. Now, the question says, X varies jointly directly as Y and inversely as Z. Now, when Y is 7 and Z is 3, X is 42. Now, find the relationship between X, Y, and Z. And 2, X when Y equals to 5 and Z equals to 9. So, how do we solve this problem? Now, let's move down to the question. The question says that X varies jointly directly as Y. So you have X varies jointly directly. Directly as what? As Y. So you write Y. Okay? And inversely, when we say inverse, it means reciprocal. Reciprocal of Z. And inversely as Z, you have over Z. Okay? So that is the variation. Okay, so now this is joint variation. You can see we have three variables. Now from here you introduce the constants. So you have X equals to Ky over Z, where K is a constant. All right, so now here we now substitute the values of X, Y, and Z. We substitute it inside this relationship. Now in the question, we have Y to be 7, Z is 3, and X is 42. Now let's plug in these values. So we have 42 equals to K times Y. Y is 7 over Z. Now Z is 3. Okay, here, now we cross multiply. So you have 7K, because K times 7 is 7K, equals to 42 times 3. Okay, so here we have K equals to 42 times 3 over 7. All right, now so 7 goes here is 1, 7 goes here is 6. Okay, so that implies that K equals to 6 times 3, and which is what? Which is 18. So this is the proportionality constant, 18. So K is 18. Now, let us substitute the value of K into this equation so that we're able to get the first tax here, because we have to get the relationship between X, Y, and Z. So we write, to answer the first part of the question, thus X equals to, now K is 18, so you have 18 Y over what? Over Z. is the required relationship. So this is the required relationship. All right, now, so now the question now go further that you find x when y is 5 and z is 9. When y is 5 and z is 9. So we substitute inside this connecting formula. Now let's do that and see what we have. Okay, so if you substitute, you have x equals to 18 times. Now y is 5. You have 5 over, now z is 9. You have 9. Okay, so x is 9 goes here 1, 9 goes here is 2. You have 2 times 5. Therefore, x equals to 10. So that is the answer to the first part of the question. I want to believe we all understand the procedure. Now we are going to be moving to another question. Please don't forget to invite your friend. Let them know the class have started. Okay, so make sure you invite a friend. Invite a friend. Let them know the class have started. And please, if you have not give this class a thumb, so make sure you tap the like button. Tap the like button. So whenever you enter the class, always remember to tap the like button. Okay, so now let's move down to another question here under joint variation. Example. Now, t varies directly as s and inversely as t. So when s is 36 and t is 16, capital letter T equals to 27. Now, A, find the formula that connects T, S, and T. And B, find T when S equals to 33 and T equals to 18. Okay, this is another example of joint variation. Now, for those of us that just joining, I said earlier now that joint variation, we have more than three or more variables. So we have more than 2 variables. So in any given joint variation, we are going to be having more than 2 variables. So from 3 upward, all right? So this is an example of joint variation. You can see T varies directly as S and inversely as T. Okay, so now let us now see how to solve this problem. Now we are given that T varies directly as S and inversely as small letter t. Now you introduce the proportionality constant, so you have T equals to Ks over T, where K is a what? A constant. K is a constant. So we need to get this constant. Now we substitute the value of capital letter T, S, and the small letter t. Now let's substitute. So we have capital letter T to be what? 27 equals to now K times, what is S? S is 36 over T, that's 16. Okay, here you can cross multiply. So you have 36K equals to 27 times 16. and we have k equals to 27 times 16 over 36. Now let's see, how do we simplify this? Now you can see 9 goes here is 3, and 9 goes here is 4. Okay, so 4 goes here is 1, 4 goes here is 4. So, and that is going to give us, we are left with 3 and 4. So we have 3 times 4. That's what? 12. So k is 12. K is 12. Now, let's answer the first part of the question. Find the formula that connects T, S, and small letter t. So we write this. Let's write this one out. So we have thus. To answer the first part of the question, we have t equals to, now k is 12. Now instead of me writing k, I will plug in the value of k. That is 12s over t. This is the connecting formula. The formula that connects capital letter T, S, and small letter t. Okay, so that's the first part of the question. Now the second part of the question, you have to find capital letter T when S is 33 and T is what? 18. Now let's see. Let's plug in the value of S. We are writing this. We have 12 times, what is S? S is 33 and the small letter T is 18. Okay, now let's see, how do we reduce this? So how do we reduce this? Now look at this. 6 goes here is 2. And 6 goes here is 3. Is that correct? Okay, so now 3 goes here is 1. 3 goes here is 11. So we have t to be equals to 2 times 11. So therefore, t equals to 22. So that is the answer to the problem. So this is the B part of the question. Okay, so I want to believe we all understand the explanation to that question. All right, so if you are just joining and you have not subscribed to this channel, please kindly do that so that you'll be duly notified anytime we are on air. All right, now let's look at another example. So immediately after this example, I'm going to give you something to try. Okay, so I want to believe you are ready for that task now. X varies directly as the product of U and V, and inversely as their sum. Now, if x equals to 3 when u equals to 3 and v equals to 1, what is the value? What is the value of x if u equals to 3 and v equals to 3? Okay, so now let us look at this question, right? So I want to believe we have all informed our friends that the class have started. Okay, I observe that very few of us click on the like button. I expect everyone, once you're in the class, we are supposed to click on the like button. Please, let's do that. Let's do that. Let everybody do that. Okay, now let's look at this question. Now, it's a very interesting question. Now, we have x varies directly as the product of u and v, and inversely as their sum. Okay, now let's interpret this. Solution. X varies. It varies directly as the product of U and V. Product means multiplication. So product of U and V, that is U times V, and what? Inversely, that is the reciprocal of their sum. So the sum is referring to the U and V. So we have U plus V. Hope you understand that. Now let me go through it again. X varies directly as the product of U and V. So this is the product, multiplication of U and V. And inversely, once you hear inversely, that means they're talking about reciprocal. So it's going to become a fraction. So now, inversely, as their sum. Which sum? The sum of U and V. So, and that's what we have here. So this is the relationship. Now from here, we can now get, we introduce the proportionality constant. Now let's do that. We have X equals to KUV over U plus V, where K is a what? A constant. All right, now, so the next thing to do is to get the proportionality constant. So we look into the question and plug in the values of U and V. Now let's look at what we have here and X as well. So if X is 3, U is 3, and V is 1. All right, so now let's plug in the values. X is what? 3 equals to K times U is also 3, and V is 1 over U is 3 plus V is 1. Okay, so now let's tidy up this. Now this is the same thing as writing, and this also equals to 3K over 4. Now when you say K times 3, that's 3K times 1, that's 3K over 4. Okay, so you can have it this way. 3 equals to 3K over 4. So here you cross multiply. So you have 3K equals to 3 times 4. And K equals to 3 times 4 over 3. So K equals to, now this cancel this. You have K equals to 4. Now that is the proportionality constant. Now we can now get the connecting formula. So that's the next thing. So you have, thus you come here, just change the value of K to 4. That's all. So you have X equals to 4, K have turned to 4, UV over U plus V. This is the connecting formula. All right, so we can now go to the question. Now the question says, what is the value of X if U is 3 and V is 3? Now let's plug in the value of U and V. V is 3 and U is also 3. So what is going to be the value of X? Now can we do that? X. Okay, before I do it, I want you to try it and tell me the answer. Okay, now let's do it. So I want us to participate. Let's see what you are going to have as your answer. And immediately after this, I'm going to give you what to do now. What's going to be the answer when you plug in the values of U and V? Now, can you tell me? Drop your answer in the comment section. Let's see, what do we have? When you plug in the values of U and V, yes, okay. I've seen an answer given by Omolara. X is 6. Let's wait for others. Make sure you are doing something. Okay. Omolara said X is 6. Now, yes, let's wait for others. Okay, I can see Huba. X is 4. Yes. Shomide, Yetunde, X is 6. Yes, others. Okay, what is the value of X? Plug in the values of U and V. Okay, so what is going to be the value of X? I'm waiting for others. I can only see, okay, yes, Folashade, where's your answer? Yes, Korodo, where's your answer? I can also see Bello Abib. What is your answer? Let's have your answer. And who else is here? Riscott. Yes, your answer. Okay, Folashade has given an answer. Yes, X is 6. Yes, let's wait for 2 more answers and then we flow. Okay, Riscott, X is 6. Yes. Okay, is anybody giving us answer again to that? Anyone? Any other person? Okay, so if we don't have any other person, now let us plug in the values and let's see those that are correct. Now let's plug in the values of U and V. Now in the question, U is 3, V is 3. So we have 4 times 3 times 3 over 3 plus 3. Because U is 3, V is 3. So now you multiply all of these together. Okay, so now see the way I'm going to do it now. I'm going to write 4 times 3 times 3 over, now when you add this and this together, you have 6. Okay, so we say 3 goes here, 2, 3 goes here, 1, 2 goes here, 1, 2 goes here, 2. So we are left with 2 and 3. So therefore, X equals to 2 times 3. And that is what? That is 6. So those of you that got 6, put your hands together for yourself. You are very smart. That means you are in the class. That's very good. Now, I'm going to give you your own complete question. Now let us see those that will get the answer. So I'm optimistic that everybody should get the correct answer. Okay, so this is the question because it's a very simple one. Try this. A varies jointly as B and C when B is 4 and C equals to 9, A equals to 6. Find A, the formula that connects A, B, and C. And B, the second part, find A when B equals to 3 and C is 10. Okay, can we quickly do this one? Let's try this one and let's see what you are going to have. Now, let me read the question again. A varies jointly as B and C, and B is 4 and C is 9. A is 6. Now, find A, the formula that connects A, B, and C. B, find A when B equals to 3 and C is 10. So, all right. So now I want us to solve this and drop the answer in the comment section. Now, I observe that there are some of you that you have not tapped the like button. Kindly do that. Do that. Make sure you do that now. Do that as you are solving your problem. Yes. By now, we should be rounding up. Now, once you have your answer, you drop in the comment section the answer to A and the answer to B. Okay, I can see Uber. Uber have gotten an answer, A equals to 5. But what of the connecting formula? You need to get the connecting formula first, then the value of capital letter A. Okay, you have less than a minute to answer this question. You have less than a minute to answer the question. Let's see who have dropped an answer. Okay, so Uber connecting formula. Okay, we have 1/6 VC. Okay, all right. Now this court has come up with an answer. A equals to 1/6 BC. That is the connecting formula. So what is the value of A? What is the value of A? Yes, what is the value of A? Okay, I'm waiting for Omolara's results. Okay, so this court has given a answer. Okay, A is 5. Now let's wait for others. Where is yesterday's results? I think we have who else is there? Folashade, your answer. Korodo, your answer. Yes. We are waiting to see the answer of Abib Bello. Okay, and others. Yes. Okay, show me they have dropped an answer. What answer is that? I can only see 1/6. 1/6 is what answer? Okay, Korodo, what is your answer? I can only see you saying hi. What is your answer? What do you have? Okay, because of our time, we have to solve the problem. Since we have some students, some of us have given the answer. Okay, Yetunde, show me they have end up giving answer. Okay, Falashade is now here. So we have A equals to 1/6B. That's your connecting formula. Okay, so and what is the value of your A? What is the value? Yes, because we are solving it now. The value of your A, yes. Okay, so Falashade have dropped an answer. Okay, A is 5. What of Shomide? All right, now, so we are solving the problem together. Let's see if what we have there is correct. Now, let's look at the question. We have A varies directly as B and C. Now, the first thing is to introduce the proportionality constant. So we have A equals to KBC, where K is what? A constant. Now, we are given that B is 4, C is 9, and A is 6. Let's plug in these values into this equation. So we have 6 equals to K times B, which is 4, times C, which is 9. Okay, so here we divide both sides by 4 times 9. So we have K equals to 6/4 times 9. Hope we get that. So now we have 3 goes here is 2, 3 goes here is 3, and the 2 goes here is 1, 2 goes here is 2. So therefore, K equals to what? 1/3. Okay, so now let's move on. Now, what is the connecting formula? The first thing we have here. Connecting formula, we are writing everything here. We have A equals to okay, I think this one's supposed to be 1/6. Sorry, not 1/3. That's 1/6 because we have 2 times 3. All right. So, yes. So that's what we have. So now we now have A equals to 1/6. BC is the connecting formula. Okay, that's the connecting formula. Now, the B part of the question, you have to find A when B is 3 and the C is 10. So you have what? A equals to 1/6. Let's plug in the value of B. That is 3 times 3 times, what is the value of C? 10. We have 10. Okay, so now let's reduce this. 3 goes here, 2. 3 goes here, 1. 2 goes here, 1. 2 goes here, 5. So therefore, A equals to 5. Correct. So those of you that got this answer, I want you to put your hands together for yourself. So that is very smart of you. So I need you now to look at how the marks will be awarded. Now, for substituting correctly into this equation, there's a method mark for that. For getting the proportionality constant, we have A1. Now, for getting the connecting formula, we have A1. That's accuracy mark. Now, for substituting inside the connecting formula, so we have a method mark 1, M1. And then for getting the answer, we have A1. So the total marks here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 marks all together. So that means you guys have scored all marks. So you've scored 5 over 5. Now, let us move down to another type of problems under joint variation. So which I call further problems. Further problems, example, the mass m kg of a solid cylinder Okay, now this is the question. The next question, let's look at it. How do we address this problem? This is a word problem. Okay, so now we read the question together and see how to solve this type of problem. Now, the mass m kg of a solid cylinder varies jointly with the height h and as the square of the radius r in centimeter. Now the mass of the cylinder of height 8 centimeter and radius 3 centimeter is 1.8 kilogram. Now find the connecting formula. Find the connecting formula. And 2, find the height of a cylinder with mass 2 kg and radius is 0.8 centimeter. All right, now the most important thing here is to get the relationship between the parameters. That's the first thing, and it's very, very important because without that, you cannot get any other thing. So now let us look at the relationship. What are the parameters that is being varied here? Now let's look at the question again. Now the mass m in kg of a solid varies jointly with the height and the square of the radius. So I want to ask you now, some parameters are being varied. Now with the example I gave you earlier, can you tell me what are the parameters that are being varied in this question? So they lies from here to this place. So now look at the question. Now I want you to drop your answer in the comment section. What are the parameters that are being varied here? Yes, the parameters that is being varied here. Is anybody giving me the answer? I just need like 2 people giving me the answer and I will move forward. Yes, I want to see the first person that is going to give me the correct answer to my question. What are the parameters that is being varied in this question? All right. Now look at the question carefully. What are the parameters that is being varied? Yes. Okay, Scott has given me an answer. Height and radius. Height and radius are being varied. Is there any other person that want to give me something else? Yes, Scott has given me height and radius. Is there anybody that have something different from that? Yes. Any other person? Okay, Scott is giving me another one, height and the square of radius. Yes. Show me there. I can see height and radius. Yes. Another person, Huber. I can see height and radius. Yes. Is there any one person that is going to give me another answer to that? What are the parameters being varied here? Okay, Folashade has given an answer. All right. So let us see which is correct. Now, I'm going through the question again. Now, okay, let me see. Is there another person? Seems okay. Folashade is the last person giving height and radius. Height and radius. Now, let's look at the question together. Let's look at it. Now, the mass mkg of a solid cylinder varies jointly with the height and the square of the radius. Now, I want to tell you that you guys tried. Now, giving me the answers over there. Now, but the parameters that is being varied here, they are 1, mass, 2, the height, and 3, the radius. So, you didn't remember to give me this mass. So, that means you are not completely correct. So, I'm the only person that is correct here. So, I want you to give me a round of applause. So, I want to see that. Yes, give me a round of applause. Nobody remember to mention the mass. So you have to read in between lines and understand what the question is talking about. Okay, so you can see the mass m in kg. So I start mass m. Now it has been given in the question, mass m of a solid cylinder varies, right? The variation sign varies jointly with the what? Height h. So height h. It varies jointly with the height h and the square of radius. Square of radius. Square of radius. Since the radius is r in centimeters, so you have it this way. So this is the relationship. You can see. So look at the parameters being varied. We have m, which is the mass of the cylinder, h, which is the height of the cylinder, and the r, which is the radius of the cylinder. So these are the 3 parameters that is being varied. Okay, that is good. Now let's move on now with the class. Now, what do we have? Now the question now says the mass of the cylinder of height 8 centimeter and radius 3 centimeter is 1.8 kg. All right, so in this question now, let's see, the height has been given. The height, that is h, is what? 8 centimeter. So what is the radius? And radius 3 centimeter. 3 centimeter. And what is the mass given? Mass is what? 1.8. All right, so 1.8 is the same thing as what in fraction? I think that's the same thing as 18 over 10. Okay, 1.8 is the same thing as 18 over 10. Okay, now let's plug in this value into this this. But before we do that, you need to change this to equation. So you have m equals to k HR squared. Okay, where k is a constant. Now let's plug in the values. So we have m is what? 18 over 10, which is the same thing as 1.8, right? Equals to k times h is what? 8 times r, that is 3 squared. Okay, here we can cross multiply. So this is over 1. So let's use everything here to multiply what we have here. So we have k times 8 times, this is 3 raised to power of 2, which is the same thing as 9 times 10 equals to 18. Okay, so now k is 18 divided by 8 times 9 times 10. Okay, so now 9 goes here is 2. 9 goes there is 1. Now 2 goes there is 1. 2 goes in 8, that is 4. So therefore, k equals to 1 over 4 times 10, that is 40. So this is the proportionality constant. Okay, can we move on now? Yes. Now we get the connecting formula. That's the first task. What is the connecting formula? So just come here and plug in the value of k. So we have m equals to 1 over 40, which is the same thing as HR squared over 40 is the connecting formula. Okay, is the connecting formula. So this is the connecting formula. So that's the first task. Now let us look at the second task here. Now you have to find the height of the cylinder with mass 2 kg and radius 0.8. Okay, now let's plug in these values. Since we want to get the height, we want to get h. So the mass has been given. This mass is given as 0.8. So I can write 0.8 as 8 over 10. I hope that is clear enough, right? Because 0.8 in fraction is the same thing as when you move the point once. So you have 8 over 10. Okay. So I'm only doing this to make the work easier. So I can also express it as 4 over 5 if I care to do that. Okay, so now let's see, that is equals to now h times r. The radius has been given. Okay, yes, what is this? The radius is 0 point, not the mass. Now the mass is 2. Okay, so that means this is 2, right? Sorry for that. The mass is given, mass 2 kg, radius of 0.8. So we have 8 over 10 square. That have replaced the r. Everything over 40. Okay, do you understand that now? Let's go through the question again. Now find the height of a cylinder with mass 2 kg. Mass has been given, mass 2 kg. All right, and radius 0.8. 0.8 is the same thing as 8 over 10. So that's what we have here, all over 40. I'm substituting inside this connecting formula here. All right, so now let's move on. So here you can cross multiply. So let's say this and this multiply each other. So we have h times 8 over 10. That's the same thing as 4 over 5. I can reduce it, square equals to what? 2 times 40. Okay, so that's the same thing as h times, now 4 times 4 is 16 over 25 equals to 2 times 40. Now here you divide both sides by 16 over 25. We have h equals to 2 times 40 divided by 16 over 25. Okay, since I'm dividing both sides by 16 over 25, so we have h to be equals to 2 times 40 times 25 over 16. Okay, so now here, 8 goes here is 2, 8 goes here is 5. Now 2 goes here is 1, 2 goes here is 1. So h will now be 5 times 25. That is 125. Now you have to ensure that the unit is there. Height is in centimeters, so you have to put the centimeter, so you have centimeter. So the height of the cylinder is 125, and that is the answer to the problem. So I want to believe we all understand that. Okay, so let's move down to another interesting question here that looks like the one we just did now. Okay. Okay, now let's look at the next example. Okay, yes, it's a very long question. So let us see how do we solve this problem. Okay, now let's read the question together. Now, the time T taken to buy fuel at a petrol station varies directly as the number of vehicles V in the queue and inversely as the number of pumps P available in the station. So in a station with 5 pumps, it took 10 minutes to fuel 20 vehicles. So find the time it will take to fuel 50 vehicles. Okay, so how do we solve this problem? The first thing is to identify the variables in this question. So I'm going to ask you now, what are the variables in this question here? All right, now let's quickly drop the answer in the comment section. What are the variables in this question? Yes, Folashade, Korodo, Omotola and others, Uber and so on. Yes, what are the variables? What are the variables in this question? Yes. What are the variables in this session? Yes, is anybody giving me the answer? It's so clear and obvious in the question there. What are the variables? What are the variables? Yes, anyone? Anyone? Okay, Riscott has dropped an answer. He said time, number of vehicles, and number of pumps. Okay, let's wait for others. What are the variables in this question? What are the variables? Okay, for Lashade, we have time, vehicle, and pump. Yes. Omolara, we have time, vehicle, number of pump. Yes. Is anybody giving us another answer? Where is Uber and others? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. We have time, vehicle, and pump. Okay. So okay. This show me there. We have time, vehicle, and pump. Okay. All right. Now let's go on. Let's go on. Yes, I think I can see what I want. Now, yes, we all tried. That's a very good one. We all tried. Now, but let's look at the question. Let's read the question together and see whether what we have there is correct or not. Okay, so now the time T taken to buy fuel at a petrol station varies directly as the number of vehicles V in the queue and inversely as the number of pump P available in the station. Okay, now when you look at this question, now the first thing the question is talking about is the time taken to buy the fuel. So the first parameter is T. That is the time, yes, which we all get that now, and directly proportional to number of vehicles. Now, see, the question says number of vehicles, not vehicle. There's difference between vehicles and number of vehicles. So that means there is a count of vehicles. So number of vehicles, this is the second variable. Number of vehicles is represented with V. And the last one, which some of us did not get, you only say the third variable is pump. No, number of pump. There's difference between pump and number of pumps. Okay, number of pumps means you are counting you just make a count. So you have to have a specific number. But once I just say pump, so you are talking, that's just a noun. You are talking about something. So, but what we have in the question is number of what? Pump. So those are the three variables we have here. So anyway, if you have said pump, we all still try because that is what we have there. All right. So every one of us tried. So there's none of you that means any of the key points that I expect here. So that means we're able to locate that we have time. We have what do we have? Vehicles. They're talking about vehicles, but just that some of us did not say a number of vehicles, and they're also talking about our pump. Now let us now see in context now. How do we now represent this one mathematically? So we have T taking the time taken to buy fuel time T taken to buy fuel varies directly as number of vehicles. Number of vehicles is represented with V. So varies directly as V, okay, in the queue, and inversely. So once I hear inverse, I know the question is talking about reciprocal. Inversely as the number of what? Pump over P. So this is the relationship now, and this is T equals to KV over P, where K is what? A constant. All right. So the next thing is to get the proportionality constant. So we have to look for the value of T, V, and P in the question. Now let's see in the question. Now in a station with 5 pumps, it took 10 minutes to fuel 20 vehicles. That is, when the pump is 5, that is the number of the pump is 5, 10 minutes is used to fuel 20 vehicles. So we substitute here now. So let's look at it. T is 10 minutes. Number of pump, number of vehicle rather is what? Is 20. And number of pump is what? Is 5. Now let's substitute this value into this equation. So what do you have? You have 10 equals to K times 20 over 5. Okay, so you can simply simplify this. 5 goes here 1, 5 goes here 4. So you divide both sides by 4. So you have 10 over 4 equals to K. You get that now? So here you now have therefore K equals to 5 over 2. So 2 goes here, 2, 2 goes here, 5. I want to believe we understand that. Okay, so that is the proportionality constant. So we can get the connecting formula. So we have T equals to K, which is 5 over 2, P over P. Can you see? This how to write it neatly. Now you have a fraction, you are multiplying it with another fraction. So this is the way it's going to look like. So the numerator will multiply numerator while the denominator multiplies the denominator. So you have this. Okay, so this is the connecting formula. This connects T, V, and P. Now the question now go further that you have to find the time it will take to fuel what? 50 vehicles. The time that is going to take to fuel 50 vehicles. Okay, so I think the question is incomplete. Let me look at what we have here. The time it will take to fuel 50 vehicles in a station with 2 pumps. So now should be with two pumps. With 2 pumps. So that is the question. Now you have to find the time it will take to fuel 50 vehicles with 2 pumps. So now we are given in the question now number of vehicles to be what? 50, and number of pumps to be what? To be 20. To be 2, sorry. Now you have to get the time. So T will be equals to 5 times V, which is 50, over 2 times P is what? Is 2. Okay, so what do you have now? So when you multiply this and this together, you have what? You have 125. Okay, no, that's 250 over 4. So because 5 times 5 is 25, so times 0 times 10, you have 250 over 4. So what will that one give you? So that is going to give you 60. Yes, can we reduce? Okay, let's first reduce here. 2 goes here is 2. 2 goes into 1. 2 goes in 5. That is 2. Remainder 1. So in 10, that is 5. So that means we have 5 over 1. T equals to 125 over 2. And that gives you what? 662 and half minutes. Or you write it as 62.5 minutes. So this is going to be the answer. So this is going to be the time that will be used to fuel 50 vehicles with 2 pumps. All right. Okay. Now, let us try this. I want to see what we are going to have, making use of this connecting formula we have here. So I want us to try this question now. So find, we try this one. Find the number of pumps required. Find the number of pumps required to fuel 36 vehicles. 36 vehicles. 36 vehicles in 15 minutes. Okay, can we do this one now? Making use of this connecting formula. Find the number of pumps required to fuel 36 vehicles in 15 minutes. Okay, can we do that now and drop your answer in the comment section? Now do that and drop your answer in the comment section. Okay. Yes. So what is going to be, you have to find the number of pumps required to fuel 36 vehicles. 36 vehicles in 15 minutes. Okay. Now let us drop our answer and let's see what we have. Yes, I'm waiting for our answer. Omolara, Korodo, Falashade, and others, Uber and so on. Okay, Riscott. Yes. We should be able to do this within a minute. Yes, what do we have? Anyone with answer? Find the number of pumps required. Okay, Riscott have dropped an answer. Okay, that is 6 pumps. 6 pumps. Can we wait for others? Let's see what we have. 6 pumps. Yes. Okay, show me there we have 6 pumps. Now let's wait for others. Where is Uber? Where is Falashade? Where is Oluwatosin and others? Yes. Okay. Falashade have dropped an answer. Yes, that is P is 6 pumps. P is 6 pumps. Yes. Okay. So while others are solving their own. Okay, Uber have got his own answer. We have 6 pumps. All right, now let us see. Let's do it together. Okay, so now the question says you have to find the number of pumps required to fuel 36 vehicles in 15 minutes. Now, in the question, you have been given the number of vehicles, V to be equals to 36, and the time, which is T, has been given to be what? To be 15 minutes. Okay, so now you are now asked to find the number of pumps, that is P. So just come to this connecting formula and plug in the values here. So let's plug in the values and see what we have. So we have 15 equals to 5 times 36. V is 36 over 2 P, okay, over 2P. Now we can reduce here. 2 goes here, 1. 2 goes here is 18. Okay. Now, so we have, let's now cross multiply. Now, P times 15, you have 15P equals to 5 times 18. Here you can divide both sides by 15. So you have P equals to 5 times 18 over 15. Okay, so you have 5 goes here 1, 5 goes here is 3. Now 3 goes here 1, 3 goes here 6. So therefore, P equals to 16 pumps. So that's very good. So that means we all got the answer. All right. So now I'm going to be giving you this question as an assignment because time is not on our side. So let's try and solve this problem. So I'll be writing it on the board now. So you try it against the next class. Okay, this is the question. So let's look at the question. Now, the weight W in kg of a metal bar varies jointly as its length L in meters and the square of its diameter in what? In millimeter. If kg, if W equals to 140 when D is 4 and L is 54, find W in terms of what? L and D. So that is the question. So I want you to do this against the next class. All right, now the last assignment I gave you, that was yesterday. Now that solution have been dropped on my YouTube, so you can check and confirm what you have, if what you have as your answer is correct. So I will be dropping the solution to the assignment and how you are expected to solve the problem. So you can always check on the channel to verify your answer. So you try this one. So by later today, you are going to see the solution to this problem. So you check and confirm whether your answer is correct or not. Okay, so I want to believe we really enjoyed the class today. And don't always forget to invite a friend, let them know about this class that is going on. Okay, so don't forget, if you are just joining us for the first time, you must always subscribe. If you don't subscribe, you will not be notified anytime we're in the class. All right, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and always tap the like button. All right, so that is the best thing you can do to help this channel. All right, so thank you very much. Bye bye. So you can copy the question. So I'm going to give you some time to copy the question before we leave on this page. All right, thank you. Bye bye. Okay, I think someone is asking. Yes, it is L and D. Find W in terms of L and D. That is the question. Find W in terms of L and D. So that is the question. I hope everybody has gotten that. Okay, so please let's take note of that. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Omolara. I can see you. Uba, thank you. Yes, Suraja Korodo, thank you. Right, it's my pleasure meeting you. And Omolara, okay, I can see Omolara again. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you.